WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Some tense moments on the Mississippi State campus today after the university sends out a maroon alert following a bomb threat.
WCBI's Parker King joins us live from the MSU campus with more on what happened today. Parker?
Thanks, guys. I'm standing here on the drill field at Mississippi State, which appears to have gone back to normal. 2 hours ago, that was not the case. The university sent out a maroon alert saying that there was a threat in the Mitchell Memorial Library. Students were then evacuated to either Allen or the Culver Student Union while they investigated the threat. Later, it was confirmed this was a time-specific bomb. Fortunately, the time that the bomb was supposed to go off passed, and there was no explosion. To confirm this, the University Police Department issued bomb-sniffing dogs that investigated the entire area, making sure that there was no threat. Now that construction is continuing and the roads have not been blocked anymore, the University Police Department will have a detailed statement coming to us later. Until then, Parker King, WCBI News. Guys?
All right, thanks, Parker, for more information on that bomb threat called into MSU earlier today. Well, in other news, laws passed in this year's legislative session take effect July 1st.
That's right. One of those includes additions to the state's seatbelt law. Our Jory Talley joins us live now and buckled up with more on these changes. Jory.
If backseat passengers are used to being buckled up like I am, then they should start making it a habit. Because on July 1st, if you're not buckled up, then the driver of the car could expect to pay a fine. Drivers and passengers should start buckling up for tougher seatbelt laws in Mississippi. On July 1st, law enforcement will be taking click it or ticket to new levels.
In the past was restricted to front seat occupants of the vehicle. After July 1st, everyone in the vehicle by law has to be restrained, front seat, back seat, passenger, so it's just a little addition onto it.
Christine Exeter recently moved here from Canada, where the law has long required everyone to wear seatbelts. She says she finds it shocking that it's just now becoming a state law.
Actually mind-blowing to me that it wasn't a rule. I had no idea. I think it's important that everyone in the vehicle, because I mean, people who die on a day-to-day basis who don't have seatbelts, like seatbelts actually save lives.
This summertime southern staple of cruising in the bed of a truck is about to go away as well.
I don't know of many pickups or trucks that have seatbelts in the back of the truck, so that would be illegal to ride back there because there's no safety restraint system back there. So we'll be looking at that, paying a lot more close attention to people riding in the back of pickups.
Any passenger who does decide to ride in the fresh air or chooses not to click it can expect to be ticketed and fined.
Looks like it's a good idea for passenger cars. There may be a problem with not allowing people to ride in the cargo area of a pickup truck. It's going to be a hardship on a lot of people.
Turnip Seed and this resident both agree that the new law makes sense for safety reasons.
Kids, they're like the second leading cause of deaths among kids 13 and under is car accidents, so yeah, it's a good idea.
Not wearing a seatbelt or riding in the back of a truck is $25 for each offense, plus your court cost. The Mississippi Highway Patrol is doing a new seatbelt campaign called In the Click, which literally is a reminder to be in the click by putting your seatbelt on. Reporting live in the backseat of a WCBI car, Jory Talley, WCBI News. Andre and Joey.
All right, Jory, good information. I've been in the bed of a pickup truck. I have.
Oh, yeah.
No more of that, okay? All right, a high-profile attorney is taking his battle against the Mississippi flag to the U.S. Supreme Court. Carlos Moore says lower courts incorrectly rejected his argument that the flag harms him by violating the Constitution's equal protection guarantee. Mississippi's state flag is the last one to include the Confederate battle emblem. It has been used since 1894. Supporters say it represents history, but Moore calls it, quote, state-sanctioned hate speech. A federal district judge dismissed the case, saying it lacked legal standing and that Moore failed to show the emblem caused an identifiable legal injury. An appeals court upheld that ruling.
A Monroe County woman is in jail after an argument leads to gunfire. 29-year-old Lashina Renee Jones is charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault. The shooting happened about 8 this morning at a home off Chapel Grove Road in Monroe County. Sheriff Cecil Cantrell says Jones went to pick up her children, but her boyfriend, Rodriguez Williams, wouldn't let her take them. Investigators say Jones then shot Williams in the left shoulder.
These domestic situations that we get involved in are some of the most serious situations that we deal with, and this is a very serious situation. You know, there's children out there, other bystanders. Not only did he get hurt, but other people could have gotten hurt also.
Cantrell says Williams was taken to the North Mississippi Medical Center in Tupelo with non-life-threatening injuries. Time now to turn things over to weather with your first look at your forecast.
Yeah, we have had a few of those clouds begin to move in. You can see that on our sky cam back in the background, those bigger clouds starting. Right now, 88 degrees here in Columbus. We've had those winds shift to become out of the south, and those dew points are starting to rise as well. With those rising dew points and that moisture, we're seeing some showers move in from our south, so we'll see those showers continue to move into our area as we go through tonight.
All right, thanks a lot, Amanda.
All right, many first-time responders often receive calls about people who have overdosed on drugs. Right now, only paramedics are allowed to treat those cases, but that's about to change.
Yeah, in just a few days, firefighters, emergency responders, emergency medical technicians, that is, and law enforcement officers will be able to issue drug treatments for drug overdoses. Our Quentin Smith is live in the studio with more on this. Quentin?
Joey, everyone I spoke with says they're excited about this new law being passed. Now, the name of the drug medicine they'll be able to administer is called Narcan, and the first responders tell me they think this will now help them save more lives.
If this can counteract whatever drugs they're using, this can help save a life. So, I mean, that's what we're in the business for.
Starkville Fire Chief Charles Yarbrough says with this new law, the state is taking a step forward to help combat the overdose epidemic here in the state.
I think it's a good idea. When we look at what's going on with the overdoses, with the addictions going on, I think it's something that the state is right now being proactive instead of being reactive, so that's a good thing.
If law enforcement officers, firefighters, or emergency medical technicians arrive to a scene and someone is overdosed on drugs, they now have the right to issue a treatment called Narcan spray. It counteracts the effects of the overdose. The treatment can be used in two different forms. It can be used as nozzle spray.
Basically syringe, and you kind of squirt up the nose.
And it can also be injected into the muscle of the upper thigh or arm.
It's the auto-injector, so basically you take it, you put it in the side of the leg, and it also injects it right into the bloodstream. So with one of those two, it has a counteracting effect of the drugs.
The medical treatment kicks in right away and starts working within minutes. Yarbrough says whether firefighters should be able to administer Narcan has been a topic of conversation for quite some time. Now, with the law being ready to go into effect on Saturday, he's eager to begin training his staff on how to properly use it.
Before we even do anything, we have an in-service with the hospital, which is our med control. So everything we do, we have to go through OCH to have med control. We have some type of class with them. We train on it. Right now we don't have any at all, so we have to get it in first. We do training on it, make sure all of our guys can do all to have any problem doing it. Once we get that taken care of, we'll go from there.
And as Chief Yarbrough just alluded to, the Mississippi Department of Health will create and offer training to the first responders before they can begin to administer the treatment. Joey, back to you.
All right, thanks, Quentin. A lot of good information there. An area camp is helping some kids piece together a confusing world while letting them just be kids.
We head to Louisville after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Campers from across the country enjoy a day of fun and food at Lake Tiacata. Mississippi State's Camp Jigsaw took the action outdoors as participants got in a little swimming and hanging out on the beach by the lake. The camp is geared toward young people with autism spectrum disorders, that is, and works to help them build confidence and cope with the world around them.
This is a camp that they can come to and be themselves because they're not always accepted everywhere else like they should be. And what we do is we build their social skills, their self-determination skills.
And this is the 8th year for Camp Jigsaw. One camper traveled all the way from Alaska to participate.
The Monroe County Sheriff's Department usually works to keep citizens safe. Today, they helped some of those citizens stay healthy. The department's SALT Triad and the Monroe County Community Fund sponsored a health fair for senior citizens. There were health screenings, information, food, fun, and fellowship. One longtime participant says it's very helpful.
Just being around people and learning and seeing, and you see people you haven't seen in a long time, and it's just, I think it's great.
Different businesses also talked about services they offered to the elderly as well.
The clouds start to build in as we head into the overnight hours tonight. It brings with them some showers and we'll see more humid conditions. I'll have the details on what you could see in your 7-day forecast coming up after the break.
Your First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist Amanda Reynolds.
As I mentioned, we had those clouds and showers starting to move into our area, not making it up the way to Tupelo yet, but we can see those puffy little clouds that moved through the sky this afternoon in Tupelo. But conditions out there right now not looking too bad. We're sitting in the upper 80s. You can see here 88 in Tupelo with, again, that now east wind at 11 miles per hour, and those dew points starting to creep up into the mid 60s. But I mentioned those showers down to our south, and they're going to be moving into our viewing area over the next few hours. So we are going to see those rain chances starting to go up, but our weekend will not be completely rained out. We'll see those showers on and off through the entire weekend, though, and it is going to be pretty warm and steamy through the weekend. Temperatures out there, as I mentioned, sitting most of us in the upper 80s right now. And we're going to cool down a little bit by the time we get to tomorrow, but look at these dew points. You can see some of that moisture coming in from the south, raising those dew points, making it feel a little muggier, a little stickier, and those are just going to continue to increase as we get closer to this 4th of July weekend. So again, I mentioned the moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. That's these blue shades. The orange shades are this drier air, so that moist air pushing into our area, and it's going to be making it so that we see those showers and storms creep into our area overnight tonight, through the day tomorrow as well. So tomorrow and Saturday currently look like our best chance to see some of those more widespread showers. But again, all the way through the weekend, we could see those showers and storms lingering even up until the 4th of July. So speaking of your 4th of July forecast, Saturday, Sunday going to be the wettest days of the next few days, sitting in the upper 80s. But then by the time we get to the 4th of July being Tuesday, we're going to be climbing up into the 90s and then seeing those rain chances diminish just a little bit. But tonight, again, we're going to see temperatures around 70 degrees with those clouds and showers beginning to move in, along with that humidity as well. Tomorrow, your Thursday planner going to climb up into the mid-80s, so a little bit cooler than today. But again, we're going to see those chances for showers and storms as well. And tomorrow, most of us going to see temperatures in the mid-80s. But on your 7-day forecast, and the chance for rain and storms sticks around with us, and we're going to see temperatures in the next few days in the 80s, but then climbing up into the 90s by the time we get to the beginning of next week.
All right, coming up, we recap the College World Series from last night, and we visit French Camp on the high school football tour. That's next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
The Florida Gators are your national champions of college baseball for the first time in school history. They had been to the College World Series 11 times, but all it took was Scott Strickland being the athletic director for the Gators to finally win it all apparently. They had a 4-run 8th inning to really finish off LSU as they won Game 2 6-1. The Gators do take home the national championship over LSU. And because of how last night finished, Mississippi State's Brent Rooker became just the second ever to win the SEC's Triple Crown, which recognizes a player that leads the league in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. Rooker's .387 average, 23 home runs, and 82 RBIs took it home for the now Pro Ball player. The only other player to win the SEC Triple Crown, Rafael Palmeiro in 1984. So he has 2 SEC Triple Crown winners, both of which played at Mississippi State. To the tour, and tonight we're into the double digits as we preview our final 1A division school. French Camp was a pleasant surprise last season, making it into the playoffs with a young team. That should frighten their opponents with what they have returning. The Panthers are stop number 10 of the high school football tour.
WCBI's 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Toyota, Let's Go Places, and Emerson Animal Hospital, where your pets are family in West Point.
We're excited. We got 19 players coming back, and you know, that hadn't happened in a long time. So anytime around here you get 19 guys back, that's a big thing. And a lot of those guys are here over the summer and they're working, and that's another thing we don't get the luxury of having. So and a lot of them are still young guys. So 10th graders last year and 9th graders that are moving on up, and so they had to play a lot last year, and so they have a lot of game experience. So we're really encouraged and excited about that, and some great leaders in that group.
You can hear it in head coach Nathan Wright's voice. He's eager for 2017. French Camp was young all over the field last year, yet the Panthers got into the playoffs for the 5th consecutive season. That combination makes for a belief in much more with the new season.
Obviously, it gives them a lot of confidence that, you know, took a lot of lumps early in the year, and some guys that were fast junior high players realized they weren't as fast as they thought they were, and then to turn that corner and realize you got to be a little more physical, and then to mess around and get in the playoffs and catch some breaks, and then play well for a half, you know, against Lumberton. Really gives you a lot of excitement and momentum coming into the next year.
For this year's French Camp team, the goal remains the same. And after that, anything can happen.
We always make it our goal to make the playoffs, so that won't change. Outside of that, once you get to the playoffs, you know, one team's going to get hot at the right time and go on, and you pray that we'll be that team that can continue playing. So mainly we always set the goal to get to the playoffs. If we can make the first round, we feel like we got a chance.
The Panthers will start the season with back-to-back home games against MAIS foes Winona Christian and Starkville Academy. With French Camp on the high school football tour, Robbie Donahoe, WCBI Sports.
60 Schools in 60 Days with French Camp Academy was brought to you by Bank of Kilmichael and WFCA.
We have those showers and storms pushing just into our viewing area, and those are going to continue to push north through the day today. And then looking at our 7-day, you're going to see those showers and storms continue through the next week or so.
Well, it's summer in Mississippi.
It is. May rain, may not.
That is very true.
All right.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.